What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Turbo Blast. I'm James Bum, and today I'm going to talk about YouTube channels. Just kidding, we got a different topic today. Yeah, this one's about video games getting TV shows and maybe movies. I might have to do a different video on that. Now, normally, this is kind of a bad thing. People hate these, they're all bad. But I want to give opinions on some of the TV shows that have come out, and movies can be a different video. Uh, I don't know. Well, I'll see what happens on this video and the next video. So to start off, I'll start with a recent one, the Halo TV show, which I don't think I need to talk about, but I will anyways. So the Halo TV show is a show that people thought were going to be kind of recapping the Halo franchise, and that would have been okay with everyone, except it literally does none of that and follows its own rules and its own lore and everything. Even with Master Chief, the main character, they were not lore accurate with him and took off his mask in the first episode, or his helmet in the first episode, revealing it to some stranger they picked up on a planet that had been attacked by the Covenant. Also, the Covenant look exactly like they do in Halo 4, which are big brutes, elites. The elites are just big brutes that are portrayed as elites with energy swords, but the energy swords look too small for the elites, so it doesn't really even make any sense. There's also no brutes really in the TV show except for one episode. What's also weird is that there's only two humans that really matter, and it's Master Chief and this one girl, I forgot her name. Other than that, the entire story could be something else, but it's not. It literally has to follow this whole thing so that it plays out correctly for the TV show to play out for itself, which is kind of annoying because normally TV shows have a big plot and everything circled around one thing that goes back normally into season 1. But this show starts off season 1 guns blazing, and you would think it's the coolest thing, but the CGI is not that good. And Master Chief's entire team got replaced. Blue team got replaced with Silver team, which aren't bad, but it also revolves around this other Spartan on in the show. And it doesn't really need to revolve around, but it just does anyways because they need to add more scenes and add more character development for the Spartans. But that's annoying. No one wants to hear that or see that. It's just something no one wants to see. Not only that, there have been a lot of controversial scenes in the show that I won't really go over because age restriction on YouTube and stuff, but if you I wouldn't recommend actually going and finding out what, but that's just what generally has happened in that. But it starts at a point where it's the middle of this war. It's this planet with insurrectionists on it, and then the UNSC come in, the Covenant come in. It's a whole thing, and then they're trying to find this thing that I don't even remember. It's like the artifact, and they're trying to find the Halo ring, which is kind of odd. In the first Halo game, they start off by literally slip spacing from Reach and just finding it near this planet, which I don't even know what the planet is. Some people say it's Reach, but I don't think it is. Anyways, they find Installation 04, and instead they just kind of find it. They don't need anything to help find it for them. Even in the other games, they just find the rings. There's no, oh, we need this thing to find the rings for us. No, they just know where they are because they just do. There's nothing really special that they need to put together or anything to find it. They also imply that Master Chief and this girl are one like connection thing that can find the Halo ring. They do show the Halo ring, but it's literally twice in the entire show, and then it kind of ends, which is just kind of dumb. They don't need to do that at all. They just do because they need plot to fill up. But basically, I'm not gonna go through the whole show, but Master Chief finds the Covenant girl. They get together, and then she splits away, goes back to the Covenant, takes the artifact with her, and then she's immediately killed off in the last episode. And basically, so is Master Chief. He's probably still alive, but Cortana took over the suit, leaving it on a cliffhanger to make people come back, which I don't think is really going to happen. Season 2 will come out, obviously, but it seems pointless to actually have stuff come out like it should. But yeah, I don't really know. It just is. Up next, we obviously have none other than what everybody probably guessed was going to be here since I'm talking about these shows, Pokemon. Or Pokemon, I don't really care. I'll probably say it reverse or reverse, I don't really know. I'll be speaking the way I want to say it. Basically, Pokemon came out back in 1989 and was successful on the Game Boy. Eventually, cards came out for it later, but the big thing was this TV show that came out the same year the cards did. And it was apparently something that everyone loved because everyone from the 90s remembers it from their childhood, which is something I don't remember. I mean, I watched the show, but it's not the first thing I refer to when I think of TV shows I watched. I think of other things. But obviously, yeah, they did that. There's also just, they keep trying to make more of these episodes, but they're running out of ideas at this point. There's no reason for them to keep making the show. If they want to, they can, but they change the formula every time and still don't find a way for it to work. Also, they've been carrying the show on for 30 years now, and only about a couple years ago, the main character of the show, Ash, finally got a Pokemon Master or whatever. I don't know. Basically, he only got that like a couple years ago, and it's implied that he's like 12 or something, although he's way older than that. He should be at least. But I think they keep him a kid, kind of like a lot of animated shows do. They keep them the same age just so they can still have the audience connect with the character and not just have him change. But even then, you change him so much. You change his like outfit, his Pokemon, and it's a whole thing. They just keep making the show come out because they want to profit off of plushies and cards that they make that they can just base off in the show. Instead, they could just do other things, but they don't decide to do that. So, I don't really know. But that's that for you. I just am going to briefly talk about that. There's no reason for me to talk about anything else. At least on that side of Pokemon. There's just more shows that they're more interesting shows that I can talk about, but obviously there's only limited that I can talk about as well. So, I'll continue. So I got a brief list of shows here in front of me on a list of paper that I will read and obviously just kind of say real quick. So we got Castlevania, which came out in 2017, has 3 seasons. The Cuphead show, which came out very recently, is already on its second season. Street Fighter, which came out in 1995, has 2 seasons. Resident Evil, which came out this year, has 1 season because it's very long to make some shows like that. And then really quickly, just all the Sonic shows because they've made a lot, like 3, 4. It's a lot that I can't just have all of them written down. And then you have 2 Pac-Man shows and a couple of Super Mario shows, but that's really it. I can talk about more, but I don't want to go too in depth because some of the shows are just the same formula and are trying to be comedic to kids. The Sonic ones all have different plots. So you have Sonic, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then Sonic Boom. Sonic the Hedgehog came out in 1993, has 2 seasons, and is really about Sonic going around and just beating bad guys and stuff. It's basically your action adventure show. Then you have The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a more goofy, silly show that is just kind of that show. Like it's the show that makes kids laugh. You got one for serious people, one for not so serious people. I actually watched this show. It wasn't too bad, but it didn't get me. There was really no plot or anything. It's just kind of, we beat Robotnik and his guys again. We did it with like a hammer or something, kind of like a classic cartoon. And then Sonic Boom, which is very recent between all the shows, came out in 2014 with 2 seasons because they couldn't make any more. Um, it's a more comedic show, but it kind of does what the other two couldn't, and it mixes both of them together. It mixes the old two shows together and makes them one show. So you have comedy and you have action. So it's a little bit, it's both. They obviously Sonic Boom wasn't a good game, or that franchise of games wasn't a good game series, so there's no way the show did really well. It just did though. The show did better, way better than the games, but that's how that was. And then the final show for the Sonic part is Sonic X, which is a more anime kind of style looking TV show. It came out in 2003. It looks like an anime, but it's just not, and it's not how that is. I just there's also like it's just a show. They have like all the recent characters from that time, which would have been like three that came out at that time that they didn't have in any other shows. Well, it's a lot more, but like from a show they could have made, they just didn't. It's not. So they didn't. Um, but yeah, that's just all those shows that they made. And then Nintendo made the Super Mario World, which is based in Super Mario World. You've got your main characters, which are Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Peach, and The Legend of Zelda, which is literally Link and Zelda. But those characters, or these shows, were based off of the Nintendo Power comics that came out back in the day. So they now they don't exist, but back in the day they made shows based off of them to also promote the comics so that people would subscribe to the comics or just buy a comic or something. I don't really know how that worked. That's basically it for me this week. Kind of weird, but hope you guys liked it. I liked making it. It only took so much time to make it. And yeah, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.